half flat propagators. And now it's time to sow my tomatoes. March 2nd, so we're right in there. Last year, we had the rain and we were still snowing in February on and off with getting dustings, so I held off on my seeds like I did this year. So now it's close to March 5th, and it's actually the 2nd of March. And I figured out last year what I did with my hydroponic tomatoes is I grew 2 single stems in each 5-gallon bucket. It worked great. It was an experiment, so I only did 1 row of them that way, but they worked wonderful. Didn't notice any difference except for I got 2 big tomato plants out of each pot. Instead of having only 5, I ended up with 10 on each row, which gave me a lot more tomatoes in less space. My San Marzano, I'm going to grow 16 of them. That gives me 6 seeds if they don't germinate, because I need 10 plants per row. So I'm going to grow 16 of those, and then my favorite ox hearts of the Cordée Bleue, I'm going to grow 16 of them also. So I'll have 16 San Marzanos on one side and 16 Cordée Bleues on the other side, and that will take care of this propagator. I'll put the lid on it, put it on heat, and we're good to go. Hi everyone. My moisture meter came in, and I just came out to check on my strawberries. It takes about 2 minutes. I leave it in there and it adjusts itself. Now this one is just fine, and what I'm doing is checking in the line, and then I'm coming back and watering the ones I need. Now this one I don't need to water, but this one over here was in the red. These guys have perked up like crazy. One that's going to have a little flower here. I think I'm going to have strawberries here in a few more weeks if we don't get some really cold, but it stays pretty nice in this greenhouse. I bought myself a really long temperature probe for my compost, but I'm going to use it too as a soil probe, and so I think it's 18 inches or 2 feet long. My soil is only 40 degrees, so it is too early. You need at least 55 degrees to plant some things, so it's too early for me to plant any seeds out here right now. But this will be a good indicator to make sure that I have a warm enough temperature of soil. So we have a little longer to wait for it to warm up. But I just wanted to show you that I have my tomatoes and my peppers sitting on heat mats. There's a heat mat down there, and it's run off of, there's the temperature probe, and I just set the temperature probe in between. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do this with one hand. There we go. In between the 1020s and the temperature mat, or the mat itself. And it sits right about 75 degrees. This one's actually, this one should actually be coming up because I had taken it out. So this other one sits at 77, 76. It bounces back and forth. That's where, that's my temperature for my peppers. My peppers are running a little warmer because it's hard to get my peppers started, especially since it's so cold. And then this one stays just about a degree less. But right now, the lights that I'm using are just LED lights to start my seeds. And then I have some regular grow LED lights too to finish them off if I need to. Tomatoes that I planted in the seed trays, you can see that, they're ready to pot on. I'm going to pot them on into the, I think these are called 2.5-inch pots. And then the next time I pot them on, they will go in these really nice deep, I think these are 3.5-inch deep pots. This is my last pot that I put them in before I put them out in either my garden or in my hydroponics. This excitement is the first potting on of my tomatoes. This is when I realized that spring is just around the corner, that things get going really fast now, and you're doing stuff every day, even if it's only for a half an hour, 45 minutes. But it's so nice to get out in the yard and start doing things, and just having that time that you know that it's not going to be cold anymore and wet, and I mean it might get rain and whoops, but it's not going to be horrible icky. So this is a really, really long one. That's one nice thing about tomatoes. If they get a little bit leggy, you can just plant them deep and they will come back up. And I've just always done it this way. Hi everyone, I only have a few minutes before I have to do another errand, but I was looking at my hydrangeas, and I have a mophead hydrangea and then I have a climbing hydrangea, and it's getting about the time that it needs to be trimmed back and cleaned out the dead wood and stuff. So that's just what I'm going to do real quick. We're kind of crooked here because I'm holding the camera out. So anyway, I'm just going to cut these real quick. Now what I do is I always leave these mop heads on, because when it freezes, the freeze will be up here, and it will take care of protecting these buds a little bit. But this thing has gotten out of control, so it's going to get cut back hard. I might not get that many flowers this year, but it really does need a trim. And this is, let's see, let's just cut this back right here. This is my climbing hydrangea, and it's gone a little bit crazy too, so it's going to get cut back a little bit. And I'm going to cut the mop heads, all the mop heads off, just down to the first green bud, and that way that will take care of the first cut, and then I'll go and cut all the dead wood, and then I will cut all the crossing branches. We'll do a really quick walk around for the last 2 weeks that I've been out here. There's a lot of stuff that's coming up, and there's some weeding that I need to do, and then I'll show you the seeds that have sprouted in the grow room, and it'll be it. So I'll be right back. So I do have my peonies coming up. These are a pink one that I got a couple years ago, and there's a little bit of slug damage, so I'm going to have to be careful, and I moved the leaves away to see if there was any slugs around there, but I think I'm going to put some slug and snail bait out. I don't like doing that, but they get real hungry at this time of year, and they will just knock all my flowers down. But I do have to put a peony cage up, and so I mark them before I go back there and step all over them. So now I have a little peony cage up, and that'll keep them from falling over, so they'll grow up through the cage. The hydrangea is all trimmed and cleaned out, air through it. Moving too fast there. And the climbing hydrangea is all cleaned and ready to go. Gotta get the mason bees out here. I'll have to do that tomorrow. Cherry blossoms. So that means the bees need to be released. Release the Kraken.